So Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, man, they destroyed your Ravens. They came back crazy way in the fourth quarter. What do you got to say about that? First of all, thank you for coming on to the show, but let's get right into it. The Dolphins came back against your Ravens. What are your thoughts? My thoughts, before I let you go, I think Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. That's my takeaway. 2 weeks into the season, I think they're the best duo in the NFL. They tore your defense up. It was amazing. Let me hear you. Let me hear what you got to say.
Well, my thoughts on the game. Actually, even before the thoughts, I want to say thank you for having me back on the show. It's been a minute.
Of course.
It's been about a year or so. It's good to be finally live in person on over Zoom.
Yup.
But yeah, today's game was kind of a up and down thing with the Ravens, like the last few years. Lamar doing his thing, but then Tua doing his thing on our secondary, and Jalen and Tyreek carving us up like a Thanksgiving Day turkey. Man, I was pissed off, but
Are they the best wide receiver duo in the NFL? What do you think?
As in the first 2 weeks, yeah, I would say so far. But I'm not the prisoner of the moment. I'm more of like, let's see what you've done the last 2-3 years or so, and you might.
Jalen Waddle's only in his second year. You know what I'm saying? Tyreek Hill's been doing it for a while.
True, but Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, they're pretty good. Adam Thielen and Justin
Jefferson's carrying that duo.
And then you saw T. Higgins and Jamar Chase last year in the Super Bowl. So even that's kind of going against my point about the whole 2-3 years, because they're young bucks too.
Yeah.
But
Hey, but Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, they're making Tua look amazing. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a Tua hater. I will go there. I will label myself as a little bit of a Tua hater. Like, I think he has a small arm. I think he doesn't put enough zip on his throws. Even last year, I have this horrible interception he had against the Saints in the back of my head. And I'm just like, yeah, he's not it. And lo and behold, Tyreek Hill comes to the Dolphins. Jalen Waddle, another year in the NFL. And they're making plays, dude. And honestly, I know his numbers look good. It's probably good. People are going to hate on this. I know his numbers look good. 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, especially the second half. Tua's numbers look amazing. But if you look at the throws,
mm-hmm.
both of Tyreek Hill's touchdowns were underthrown.
Mm-hmm.
The first one a little bit more than the second one. But Tyreek Hill just flew past that mediocre Ravens secondary that's just not that good right now. And he had to kind of like wait for the ball, and he kind of caught it, and then he sped up to the end zone. He was pretty close to it.
Yeah.
And then the one on the left side, the second Tyreek Hill long touchdown,
mm-hmm.
he kind of waited for that one too, but he was so wide open that didn't matter.
Yeah.
The throw to the second touchdown to Jalen Waddle, okay, the winner, that was cool. The first one's pretty cool too. The Gesicki one, he had to, climb the ladder to get that one. So I'm not saying Tua hasn't improved, and I'm not saying he's like a terrible quarterback, and like he's definitely like shutting up a lot of people right now, including myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that it's more of a result of having like the two most explosive wide receivers in the NFL. And like they've gone on in their press conferences and said that they might be the two fastest wide receiver duo in the NFL history. And, they might be right.
Sheesh. Man. Well, to Tua, on that point, like Tua has a few things working against him. He's undersized, like you said, and he's a left-handed quarterback. So it's kind of, I'm not saying left-handed quarterbacks are weak, but it's just, of course, historically, they're not the most dominant, the best quarterbacks of all time, unless you call like the Steve Youngs, the Tarkentons of the world. So it's like, Tua's trying his best. And I think earlier in the week, he talked about how his height was a disadvantage. He had to kind of, if I can't see you, I can't throw you the ball.
Yeah. We're kind of seeing it right now with Russell Wilson too.
Yeah,
struggling a little bit.
But he's, as long as, 6 touchdowns is 6 touchdowns. I know it's
six
not
tutties, 6 tutties.
Yeah, it's true, but it's like damn, bro, come on, it's crazy.
Well, okay, so where do you rank? Where do you have right now? You're not a prisoner of the moment. I guess I'm a prisoner of the moment. I got super hyped watching this. I'm like, bro, these guys are it, man. They're making Tua look like a Pro Bowler. Like they're making it look like the Dolphins damn near want to extend Tua right now. And that's
true.
That's how good they're making him look.
Yeah.
And compared to the talks that were going into the season, like, is he gonna make it to the end of the season?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm a prisoner of the moment. Fuck it, I'm a prisoner of the moment. I think they're the best duo.
Yeah. Well, my thing is like with the two again. there's been a little bit of rumors up in the air about maybe how Lamar and his contract situations with the Ravens, that he might end up going back home to Florida, to Miami, and Tua might end up somewhere else. And I'm just like, nah, man, Baltimore, whatever you do,
gotta keep him. Gotta keep him.
This is the most exciting offense we've ever had in our years.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and it looked like some of their wide receivers are starting to do a little Bateman. Bateman looked pretty good.
Finally,
Duvernay is doing his thing, although he left with the concussion today. Yeah.
And then Mark Andrews, of course, is Mark Andrews doing his thing.
Top 3 tight end in the league.
So, but it's that defense. I mean, growing up, everybody knows the Ravens are known for their defense and running the ball. So it's like, hey, man, Lamar's doing a thing on offense. Secondary help your brother out on as a QB. So we'll see. We'll see.
Like I said, so after week 2, where do you see the Dolphins going, first of all? Because they did get the dub, so let's talk about them real quick. They're 2-0. How do you see their season playing out?
They've beaten us 2 years in a row, basically. And that defense is good. And then the offense now, again, adding Tyreek Hill, burners on
each side. Like, who are you gonna help? Like, you gotta leave both safe. You gotta play 2 deep almost every.
You can't do 1-on-1. Like Tyreek, they say speed kills, and he killed us today.
Yeah, that was nasty.
But they can do it. I mean, the division.
Can they win the division?
Buffalo, of course, is Buffalo.
Okay,
Josh Allen's on the MVP.
Yup.
Try to projection, So, and that defense too is crazy. And
that wide receiver,
Stephon Diggs, man, Maryland boy, got to represent.
Yup.
So we'll see that. The Patriots, it's still Bill Belichick, but it's not
the Patriots. Ain't
that
shit.
Fear
the
factor.
Patriots ain't shit.
That fear
man.
factor.
Stop
the fear
it.
Factor.
The Patriots
and the
ain't
Jets.
shit.
I mean, hey, pretty boy Flacco showed out today like it was 2013 playoffs. So I got respect to my former Raven quarterback, but we'll see. I think the Dolphins can make some noise though. That they got the burners.
Make some noise.
Yeah.
Playoffs.
Wild card, I think.
Wild card.
The extra wild card spot.
Yeah. Do you think they give the Bills a run for their money, or like the Bills are in a different league? They'll win comfortably this division.
I would say just a tier above, not like a super, but just a tier above. But like we'll see.
It'll be interesting.
17 games, like second year for that, so it's gonna be a little different.
Yeah. Okay. What about the Ravens? I believe everyone's 1-1 except the Bengals. They're 0-2.
The Ravens signed all these players on defense this year. We got our boys back, Marcus Peters back, and Marlon Humphrey's looking healthy again. It's just that secondary. I don't know what's wrong with those guys. Like, I've been complaining since at least 2013, since the post-Super Bowl. Like, our secondary has just been not the Chris McAllister days, the Ed Reed, the Dwayne Starks type of era, Rod Woodson. It's like, I don't know what's going on. And the pass rush is not as intimidating. Terrell Suggs ain't there. Of course, Ray Lewis ain't there in the middle to shore things up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, our offense, it's like crazy. Like, the thing we wanted 15 years ago with our crazy defense, we want at least a good quarterback. And now it's fast forward 15 years now. We have an explosive, dynamic quarterback, but our defense is just like,
Yeah, middle of the road kind of.
So.
Yeah, and you expected them to be a little better.
Yeah. But
so, prediction for the Ravens? What are we looking at?
We can pull out the division maybe at 11-6.
11-6?
11-6.
Okay.
But playoff run, it's just like, I know people are, Lamar can't do it in the playoffs. Yeah. But I'm like, you need your defense to bail you.
Yeah. You always need a defense. You always need a defense.
But if your defense can't even do a simple 4-man pass rush like we used to be able to do, what is the point?
You always got to send an extra guy.
So we'll see.
We'll see. But speaking of the Dolphins in Miami and the Bengals in your division, one of my favorite players of all time, Chad Ochocinco. When I was in Miami for for Ultra, I did run into him at one of the hotels there, and he's so cool, man. Chad Ochocinco, probably the coolest guy out there. I know September 16th just happened, and he always, shows out for the Mexicans. He was always, Chad Ochocinco. He would rep the Mexican flag. But I guess the question I have for you is, like, have you ever met any professional players out there? I've met a couple. I've had some good experiences, and I had some bad experiences, or not the worst, but is there anyone that you've met out there?
Yeah, this is a long time ago. So
yeah,
to all my Laker fans, I know you're going to be happy about this. So about 20 years ago, this was just after the Lakers had beaten us in the conference finals. I was at a restaurant near the Sacramento River, and I was with my dad. We were in line waiting to order, and I turned around, and I gave him a little nudge in the arm. I was like, "Hey, Dad, that's Chris Webber." And he's back there, and I was really shy. I was like, I didn't want to go up to him because I was only like 6 years old. And my dad's like, go up to him. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I was kind of shy. And then my dad decided to go up to him. Hey, Mr. Weber, sir, how are you doing? My little boy, he's a big fan of yours because Chris Webber and Mike Bieber were my guys back then. I know everybody loved Peja and Doug, and Chris Webber was my guy. Like,
Chris Webber was dope, man. I like Chris Webber.
That baby hook, that line drive shot he had, I loved that. And so my dad's like, hey, my son over there, he loves you, and he cries every time you guys lose. It does not matter. So he embarrasses him. He cries. So you guys can't lose anymore because he's like, but yeah, that was like one of the coolest. And he gave me a hug. He's like, he gave me a hug. He gave me a hug. He's like, we won't lose anymore and everything. But it was just like, yeah, it was 2002. That post time after the Lakers beat us, I was steaming. I was like,
oh yeah, so you were definitely crying after that.
It's still game 4 till this day. All the Laker fans remind me that Robert Horry through the anniversary. It still hurts. I'm not gonna lie, PTSD every now and then, but you gotta. I can't move on. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie to you. I try to move on, but like you only get one window.
Those cuts cut deep. You know, those scars cut deep.
But
that's funny. That's a good story. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Laugh at my pain.
I don't have a painful story. I do have one story that's pretty interesting. My friend that used to go to Cal Berkeley, go Bears, she invited me to go see the women's basketball team, and they were pretty cool. Like I was already down to go. Like I'm always down to support college teams and go see live sports.
Yeah.
But what really enticed me that day was that Marshawn Lynch was gonna be there. Beast mode. And he was going to be there signing autographs before the game. And I was like, man, that's going to be so sick. Marshawn Lynch, one of my favorite running backs. Probably my second favorite running back that I've seen, like, play live. Or not live, but on TV, like, growing up. Mm-hmm. Favorite, of course, LT. I used to be a Charger fan.
Free agent fan
now, but used to be a Charger fan. I love LT. Marshawn Lynch, beast mode. That was amazing. He's so sick. Once my friend told me that Marshawn Lynch was going to be there, I was like, say less. I was already down to go, but like now I'll be there even earlier. I'll be there early. I'm usually fashionably late. I'll be there early. So we go there and we're in line. There's a lot of people. Obviously, Marshawn Lynch, he did his thing for Cal too. He rode around in that vehicle. Yeah. Did his thing. Yep. So he's cool. Everybody was trying to get an autograph for him, get a picture, and I'm like, all right. I'm in line waiting. Like, what should I do? I don't think I'm gonna get this opportunity again, mm-hmm. or I don't know if I ever will again. So I was thinking of like, what pose should I do? I don't want to just do the regular peace or a little thumbs up. And at that time, he had already done his celebration where he grabs his crotch.
Oh my gosh!
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, everybody from the ages of like 14 to 20 used to do that celebration if they played football.
Yeah, so like if you guys don't know, when Marshawn Lynch would break a touchdown run. And, once he's in the clear and he's about to, like, break the end zone, he would, like, kind of turn around back to the field, and then he'll grab his crotch, and then he'll, like, lean back into the end zone. So I thought that would be a cool pose to take with Marshawn Lynch. And Marshawn Lynch is sitting, like, he wasn't getting up. He was just sitting in a desk, and then you would pull up, and you stand, like, on the side of the desk, kind of, like, right next to him. Mm-hmm. And then he'll be sitting down, you'll be standing up, and then you'll take a picture. Mm-hmm. So I thought it would be cool if I just, like, did the Marshawn Lynch, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. I convinced myself I'm gonna do it. I go up there, they're about to take the picture, and then he sees me doing his celebration, and he's like, hey man, what you doing? he hella raises his voice at me. Hey man, what are you doing? And I get started. I'm like, oh, like what do you mean? He's like, what are you doing? Cut that shit out. And I'm like, I'm doing your celebration. What do you mean? Like, your celebration. He's like, nah man, cut that shit out. And I'm like, man, all right, for sure. And like, they were trying to get the line going quickly. Yeah. So this all happened like super quick. And then they're like, all right, we're going to take the picture. And he's telling me to cut that shit out. So naturally, like, I just put this hand down, and then I took the picture kind of just like this. Like, I wish I would have had like a better pose, like, but he caught me off guard. So I just put this hand down, and I just have like a regular ass picture like this. Like kind of like a good boy. Like it went from doing the cross to just doing like
a free kick.
Yeah. I was just a man. I was just a wall. Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty funny. I thought it was a pretty cool story. And then shout out Marshawn Lynch. That was cool. But segue to this, because Marshawn Lynch, even after that altercation, I feel like he would be pretty cool to hang out with. He seems like a cool guy. He seems funny. I've seen his. He's been on like some YouTube channels and stuff like that. He does his thing. He's pretty funny. He has like a dry sense of humor. His voice is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think? Like, name 5 people that you would like to, that you think it would be cool to hang out with in the NFL right now.
NFL right now, Lamar, I think, because Ravens bias. I know. I got a couple. Marlon Humphrey, even though he'd be wearing them wild fashion fits and stuff, I think he'd be cool to hang out with. George Kittle, he's a wrestling fan. I'm a wrestling fan too.
Go to WrestleMania.
Let's go to WrestleMania maybe, and then
two more.
Ooh,
2 more.
I'll probably hang out with the Cowboy. Maybe Micah Parsons, just to show me around the Cowboy Stadium and stuff like that. And this one is the biggest surprise. Like, I don't think if you told me I would say this name maybe 10 years ago, you'd think I need to go to 5150. But I'm gonna say Tom Brady only because. His wife, she's from Brazil, and we can go to Carnival, and Brazilian women are beautiful. So we have a good time there. I maybe get on that Tom Brady diet, avocado ice cream and stuff. I tried it one time last summer; it was pretty good.
The TB12 method.
The TB12, method. I'm like, you know what? I see where Tom's coming from.
Yeah. What about? I know he's a division rival, but what about Joey B? He's pretty cool. You don't like Joey B? You don't like
Joe Burrow? Like, I love that guy. I know he's a Bengal, but like that's the people's champion. I know, like, he's cool and all.
He's dope.
He's dope. Like,
he's dope.
But
that's a foe.
It's a foe. It's weird to say, but Joe Burrow's cool though. No beef with him whatsoever.
Why Lamar Jackson? Other than is that just it? Because
Lamar, he's cool. He's a cool dude. Like,
he's for the people. Who was he? What did he do over the offseason that kind of got people upset? Or like the Ravens? Was he playing like flag football?
He was playing like flag football or like
on concrete or something like that?
Yeah, he like Lamar is the people's champion too. Yeah. But it's like Lamar, he keeps his head down, doesn't really say much. He's just cool. I like people that just keep their heads down, don't try to make rah 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 noise.
Okay. What about Russell Wilson?
I got no beef with Russell. I know people say he's corny and stuff like that, but you got to understand. As a black quarterback in this league too, you can be 2 things. You can be perceived as a thug. Like, some people be giving Lamar crap for the way he, acts and stuff like that. But he doesn't get in trouble. And Russell can be seen as two-faced. I know that he's like the whole religious thing, but like
a little cliche sometimes.
But he stays away from getting in trouble. It's better to be getting away from trouble than having people always saying these things about you.
I feel like he'll guide you the right way.
Guide you right. Even though
he'll keep it at that with you.
It's funny that the Seahawks booed him last week, and then Richard Sherman and Doug Baldwin were celebrating with that little meme with the meme.
Yeah.
But I'm like, damn, did Russell really rub them the wrong? Because of course I'm not in the locker room, so maybe he did. But I personally, because I'm outside the perspective of those guys. I have no beef with Russell. You got Sarah, man. I love Sarah. Like, the music still, I hope she can still dance, man. Something light.
Some light. What about Mike Evans? Would you like to get too many fights if you go out there? Or what?
Mike Evans, probably getting a lot of fights with him, but I know he got my back. And I loved his E60 on ESPN. I watched it a few years ago. It was very enlightening stuff, very bittersweet, but I got no problem with Mike Evans. I like what he did for Tom Brady. He defended him and stuff like that. I mean, like,
all right, what do you kick it with Patrick Mahomes and his brother?
Patrick, yes, but the brother, a little too extra, man. I don't need you to be doing TikTok. For me, I think my last social media thing I got was Twitter, and that was 2014. I don't need to be on like TikTok anymore. I don't need him to bring attention to what he did to Sean Taylor. And the thing about me, I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan, and for him to be doing all that stuff during Sean Taylor's memorial is just highly disrespectful. So Mahomes, I know that you're probably trying to defend your little brother, but I wasn't cool with your little brother what he did. So just saying,
you wouldn't kick it with them. Then.
No.
Yeah. What about? I'm surprised you didn't say Justin Jefferson. I feel like he seems like a pretty cool guy.
All them LSU boys are cool as hell, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I rock with LSU too. Like
Tyrann Mathieu, cool.
Honey Badger's cool. Like, I mean, it's Louisiana. Like, that whole area. I've never been to New Orleans before, but I like their vibe. The whole Mardi Gras, back then, my older brother, Cash Money versus No Limit, he was Cash Money, so I was riding with Cash Money. They called me Lil Woody back then too, so I rode with Cash Money.
Sounds like some cool people to hang out with. It's crazy because sometimes we forget that all these athletes are like real people. Like, if you didn't go to school with them and you didn't see them like on a day-to-day basis, like, you could get so narrow-minded and just see them as like regular as people, especially now. Like
Exactly.
I know your birthday's coming up, so happy early birthday to you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so you're about to turn. I don't want to disclose your age, but 26. So,
I'm getting up there.
Yeah. So, but like, I met you when you were like what, 19, 18?
18, 19. Yeah. Holy moly.
Yeah, exactly. I'm 27. You met me when I was like 19, 20. And we still mess around. We still joke. We still kid, and
A little banter here and there.
A little banter never hurt nobody.
Yeah.
And we forget that, like, Jamar Chase is like 21, 22.
Bro, exactly.
Like, we're looking at like 5 years ago for us, or like 4 years ago, and like these guys are really like put there like to be like the faces of the franchise, to lead by example, to like always have the correct answer for the press, to never let their emotions get to them, and like compete at a high level. So it's crazy when you it makes sense when people don't like think of them as regular people, but like at the end of the day, they're still like just regular old people.
Yeah, it's like, you go on Twitter and then people calling them this, that, and the other, like a lot of expletives, and I'm like, sometimes I'm like, hey, bro, it's not that serious. It's just sports. Like at the end of the day, it's like it's only maybe a 10 to 15 year out of maybe 70 years of their lives that defines them. They don't have to be defined as this or that.
Yeah.
And people gotta understand, like, again, they have feelings. I know they make millions of dollars and stuff like that, but they're like one of 1%. So
yeah,
like I'm always gonna be player versus owner, because the player we don't go see the owners. We're not go there to go see Jerry Jones.
Exactly.
We're go there to see the superstars, the players. I've been doing this since they were 4, 5, 6, 7 years old.
Right.
And as a former athlete myself, like I've been playing sports since I could walk at least.
Yeah.
And so I kind of understand. Of course, I didn't go pro, but it's just more like a respect thing.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like one of my roommates, 29 years old. I love the man, and we like I known him since he was like 25, and like we're almost the same people. Obviously, we're doing our own thing too. Yeah. But like you think of a 29-year-old in the NFL, and they're like veterans. They're like chiseled veterans that are supposed to be like the older statement of the team and like lead and like have all this wise wisdom. And they even look older than us because they've taken like all these hits and stuff. And it's just crazy. Like we feel like we're still like very young people at 26, 27, 28, and in the professional world, they're like on their way out, and you're like, we're trying to replace you, and it's just it's so crazy how that happens.
Even like in the NBA too, like remember, like now we're like in the one and done era the last 10 years, so it's like a kid that leaves for the NBA at 18. By the time they're finished with like their first maybe full or 1 or 2 contracts, they're 25. Like, wait, they're already 7 years in the league.
Yeah.
So it's like they're a veteran basically, but they're not even reaching their physical or mental prime when it's 27, 28, 29, 30.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Time is crazy.
Props to all the athletes, man. Yeah. They're really doing the thing. I know some of them get in trouble and all of that, but for the most part, all of them, abide by the rules of their respective leagues, and I'm so thankful that we were able to watch it. We're like in the best age of sports.
Blessed era of sports.
I know all these streaming services are, nickeling and diming us, but
that's a whole nother story. I don't even want to get into that.
But we could watch more leagues and more games and more anything than anywhere than any other point in time.
True.
Like where you could really watch like a little challenger tennis tournament, like in freaking
like on ESPN Plus or whatever,
or like tennis channel.
Ooh, the freaking Comcast 786, channel 786.
Like we're literally like, you could like, especially I notice it a lot because I have the podcast and stuff, and I like tennis, I like football, I like the NFL, I like the NBA, and I like the sub like divisions. I like I like the FIBA competitions. I like the Eurobasket that just ended. I like watching the Davis Cup in the tennis when the teams play against. I like keeping up with everything, and it's just like, man, there's so much stuff to watch.
I remember, was it Fox Sports World, like maybe like 15 to 20 years ago? It was just Premier League, the J League. I would stay up for on weekends to watch like reruns, and then like sometimes they have the Argentinian league where it would just be like River Plate versus Boca Juniors. That was it, and that was we could watch. And I'm like, I'll watch it. I'll watch anything I could get my hands onto. But it's like now everything is available.
Everything, dude, it's available. And if you can't find it, you're not looking hard enough.
Exactly. Like this morning, like me and my roommate, we just watched Chelsea versus Liverpool, the first game for Chelsea in the Women's Premier League.
Yeah.
And even though Chelsea lost, it was like, dang, man, I don't think this was possible maybe 10 years ago. And now it's like.
And you like
that.
on demand. You can watch historic matches like whenever you want to.
The archives,
WWE Network, they got all the,
man.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, like, growing up, I had even less access. I never had cable and stuff like that. So for me, growing up in San Diego, the only thing I watched was like when I was very little, it was just Liga MX, and then it was the local ABC channel. They would show some of the NBA games, and I'll catch up with those. And then they'll show the highlights for the other games. So that's how I kind of kept up with the NBA. And then with the NFL, it was just like the regular Fox and CBS games, and then they had this Mexican channel for TV Azteca, and it was like their version of Red Zone, but it was in Spanish. And then I just kept up with that, and like to have all this stuff now, it's crazy. Like, we're so blessed. Obviously, if they could package more stuff together, and they would like they wouldn't spread us out so hard, it would be better. But
yeah, it's like I wish beIN Sport and Comcast could get back together because I miss watching Liga. I feel that. You know, but someone that I'm gonna miss watching is gonna be my guy Federer. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are hurt right now. They're talking about, it's crazy how a sport could just get canceled. Like, there's no more tennis. Yeah. People are really saying that the sport of tennis is dead without Federer. But I honestly think tennis is in a good spot right now. Like, we still got Nadal, hopefully for at least 2-3 more years. Djokovic looks like he's taking great care of his body. He's probably going to be here till he's 40. He's probably going to play as long as Federer was able to play. And, you know, if you're American, there's some good Americans coming up. I know you like Tiafoe. So, what are your thoughts on, you know, the Swiss maestro hanging it up, succumbing to his injuries, not being able to technically leave how he wanted, competing? It's like, for me, I'm gonna be objective because as a kid growing up, it was Agassi for me first. Like, I didn't like Pete Sampras. My dad loved Pete Sampras. Yeah. And then Roger Federer came, and I was like, man, Roger Federer's winning everything. I didn't even rock with Federer. Thought he was a little too arrogant for my liking. I don't know why. It's just weird being a little 8-year-old kid, but Nadal was my guy. So anytime like the French Open, Nadal would beat Federer, I was happy. But I respected Federer's game. That backhand was deadly
and graceful. Elegant.
That's literally those two words, graceful and elegant, where you could describe Federer. And the Wimbledon dominance he had until like that 2008 final against Nadal was like probably the greatest tennis match I've ever seen at that point. Maybe of all time, just thinking about it. And it was just like, you have to respect greatness, like no matter what. Even if you don't like the person, you just got to respect the greatness of Federer. Yeah. So it's going to be different because his standard, like Pete Sampras, for me, as growing up a little kid, he was the greatest of the great. Yeah. But Roger Federer surpassed that, and then he made everybody raise their level. Exactly.
And he didn't just surpass it. He, like, 14 to 20 is a big gap. Like, you're like almost halfway, like half of 14 to 7, that's 21. He's at 20. Like, that's he damn near like did it twice. Like, he was like there, you know. And if it wasn't for the other two guys, like, just imagine like there's no Djokovic, if there's no Nadal.
Shoot, like that would have been wild because no offense to like the Andy Murrays and the Juan Del Potros of the world and stuff, and the Tsongas and the Monfils, Wawrinka, all those guys, like they tried their best, but like
there's no hope.
there are levels to this.
Yeah, there's levels to this. Yeah, but I'm kind of sad. I know there's people out there that are sad too, but like the things I gotta say for Federer is I feel like his impact on the game is gonna be felt forever. Yeah, like he has his own tournament, the Labor Cup. That's where he's gonna retire. I feel like since he already kind of has a tournament that he founded. I feel like even though he's gonna retire, he's still gonna be around the tennis circle. He's not gonna be one of those people that just retires and fades into the sunset and you never kind of hear from him. I feel like we're still gonna see him at Wimbledon. We're still going to see him hosting the Labor Cup, maybe even captaining the Labor Cup. We'll see if he captains maybe the Swiss team for the Davis Cup. I think he's going to stay involved in tennis. I don't think he's going to be one of those people that just fades into the sunset. And I think there's players that kind of have his similar game style. I know Alcaraz is kind of like a combination of all three of them. He shows like the athleticism and the great defense from Djokovic. He has like almost the same mannerisms and fighting spirit that Nadal has, and he has a lot of the same strokes that Federer has. And I think his game will just continue to like live on. But But I do think he's the most elegant player of all time. No one's ever going to play as beautifully as he did.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I think there's a lot of young players right now, namely like Sinner, Alcaraz. I think even like your boy Tiafoe. He really like impressed me in the U.S. Open, and he's such a good character too. I don't know, like I know he's representing your hometown or your
home country. Yeah, like
your home
Tiafoe,
country.
his family's from Sierra Leone. It's like crazy to finally have one of our own represent us. Like I don't think we would ever imagine that we would actually have a tennis player go this far from Sierra Leone. Oh, even though he's American, family's from Sierra Leone, but it's just like, man, like you could see, like again, my dad is old, so it's one of those things. Like he's seen basically everything. He's lived through the independence of our country and seen us get independence. Yeah, and just to see him actually represent us and do well, and he's from Maryland, to just about 30 minutes where I was born in Maryland, so it's like hometown hero and everything. Big ups to him. Hopefully he's got a few more things to go in this game, but like he said, he will win this US Open one day. I hope he probably go for the Australian Open next year. I hope he gets his body right, his mind right. We could see the improvement for the last 3-4 years from him, but I'm very impressed with what he did at the US Open.
Yep. And I think just like the diversity of the sport, like there's like players from all over the world, and I think when Nadal was interviewed before the U.S. Open, talking about how, Federer wasn't there, Djokovic wasn't there, and he kind of basically said that, I wasn't here last year, and Federer wasn't here last year, and, the sport moves on. Like, he kind of acknowledged the greatness of himself, Federer and Djokovic, but he kind of also said that, like, no one is bigger than the sport. Yep. And if we could just, I know we follow a lot of sports, so we could talk about it not just in tennis, but, like, in other sports, like, when Ronaldinho was going, when Zidane was going, like even when Pelé and Maradona was going, people were having these exact same thoughts. Like, there isn't ever going to be someone that plays like Pelé, and then Maradona comes around. And there's no one that's going to play like Maradona, and then Messi comes, and Ronaldo comes, and you just, as we move deeper and deeper into, like, humans, and we develop, basically just humans, we get more athletic. There's more technology in sports. There's better programs. There's better coaches. Like I said, this, like, no one's bigger than the sport. So that's what I like. Yep. If you're sad about Federer, like, someone's gonna come and they're gonna captivate your mind, your emotions. If it's not Alcaraz, I'm sure in the next 5 years someone's gonna pop out and you're gonna be like, damn,
that's my guy.
That's my guy. You're gonna feel the exact same way that you felt for Federer, or in a different way, obviously. Yep. But like I said, no one's bigger than the sport, right?
Even let's look at Serena. Like, Serena just retired. Like, what she did for her and Venus, of course, did for a whole generation of people that look like just like me. Like, just like you said, we were blessed to grow up in a time where we have a Serena, a Roger Federer, Tiger Woods, a LeBron. Like, we just were blessed. A Tom Brady, like, just greatness all around. Kobe, God rest his soul, just greatness all around. So,
Guillermo Ochoa.
Hey, World Cup, man. San Ochoa, respect.
Yeah, man. Like I said, just to end this, if you're sad about Federer, like, obviously be sad. He's one of the greats. He's an amazing player. He's amazing. He looks like he's an amazing person too, family man. But just know, someone's gonna come around. They're gonna get your attention. You're gonna fall in love with another player, and they'll probably carry you through the sport in the next 20 years. You just gotta find one person to carry you. And if you don't love the sport, like it could take a dip, and I'll still probably follow because it's a good sport. But I think Federer will be all right. I think, he's made his dough. He's gonna be cool.
He's done everything.
Yeah. And one last point, I almost forgot about it. My boy Nowitzki.
Ooh, dark.
My boy Nowitzki, man. He's a great player. He gave it his all for the Dallas Mavericks. But he would even say that he retired a little bit too late. Like, now he kind of wishes he retired. He didn't play the last 2 years. Because now he's kind of having trouble playing with his kids, chasing them around. His knees are giving him trouble. And I mean, we all want to see Federer play longer, compete at slams. We never saw Nadal and Federer at the U.S. Open ever, which is crazy, play against each other. We want to see these matches. We want to see him playing against the younger guys. He never played against Sinner, never played against Alcaraz. But at what cost, I think he knows his body more than anybody. I know, you've played soccer, you've played basketball. I know you've had your fair share of injuries.
Yep.
And no one knows your body better than yourself. So if Federer is saying, like, you know what, this is it, like that's it. Like
it's better to go be a family man and be able to run around with your kids on the grass or wherever sport he or she are playing than just laboring around looking old and just cranky about why your body can't do what it used to do 20 years ago. Just be a family man.
Yeah, or you might get a divorce like Birdie. Nah, just like I'm not putting out there. That's a joke. But did you watch the Madrid derby today? It was very talked about leading up to it. I know you're not like the biggest Madrid supporter.
I am not.
But what were your thoughts on the game and everything, the circus that these Atletico Madrid fans and Coca and stuff were bringing towards this game?
First of all, let's say no to racism. I know it's cliche, but like we've been fighting that
for too many generations.
Again, I know I'm only 25, going on 26, but like I remember when I was 8, 9, when Eto'o was getting bananas thrown at him and stuff like that for Barca, and they had the whole wristbands and the whole campaign. That didn't really go out. So Vinny now facing that, which is weird because
we've had like whole teams walk out, like in the Italian league too.
Yeah, it's just like
the Premier League takes a knee before every game still, and it's like it seems like it's never ending.
Never ending. Like this. One thing about soccer, it's the great equalizer. That's how I met you. I met almost everybody through college. Is like from different backgrounds. So
yeah,
it's the great unifier more than maybe any other sport in this world. But just to see Vinny get abused for like doing what, I'm not stereotyping, but Brazilians, they have that joy, that passion. I mean, they've won 5 World Cups, so you can't say the dancing and stuff has affected them.
Exactly.
And
it's like, bro, it's dancing. Like what?
How about you stop him from scoring goals, Koke? You're known for Atletico. Your defense is known for stopping other teams from being great.
Yeah.
And you just got out Atletico by Real Madrid on the counter twice. So it's like.
And it's like, bro, like everyone celebrates dancing. They do flips and stuff. Like FIFA has dances on their celebrations and it's rated E for everyone.
Rated E for everybody can get these hands. So it's like, you got to understand.
It's rated E for everyone, bro. No one gets disrespected when you do a little dance. And they're like, come on, man.
Okay, why don't you go score a goal, which you hardly do, and do a little dance yourself? And I know you play in more of a defensive role. You don't really score up there, but
yeah.
He
just probably hasn't felt the joy of a goal in a while.
It's been a while. So.
But like his teammate Griezmann does dances all the time.
Does the Fortnite dance.
Yeah.
It does the hang loose Ronaldinho dance or whatever. So it's like, I don't understand why. And also Atletico, you have a black player in your midfield who started today, and you were throwing all these things at him, doing monkey chants and stuff before games, during games.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't understand why.
So who are you rooting for in this Madrid derby?
Well, it's tough because I don't rock with Real Madrid. I'm a Chelsea fan. But I respect greatness. Florentino Perez has done a great job with the whole Galacticos era and stuff like that.
Rebuilding the team after
Ronaldo left, and then the stadium and everything. And Atletico, I love Atletico. I've always loved the defensive structure of Simeone's teams. Even before actually Simeone, I love when Kun Aguero was there, Forlan, all those guys at 09-10 Europa League run. But it's just, I wish maybe Simeone would have put out a statement like, hey, we don't condone that, because of course was it Thomas Lemar on your team?
Yeah.
And you have Kondogbia on your team. So you do have black players that are not directly affected by it, but are affected by it.
They're hearing it.
They hear it. So it's like, you have to nip that in the bud, because if you don't, you just allow it to fester, and it's just going to get worse and worse. And
it's like, bro, like if I'm a person of color and I'm seeing this, I'm not trying to go sign with Atletico Madrid.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to be part of that, have those type of people wearing my jersey. I'm not trying to have those type of people, being the people that I'm defending the crest for,
And it's a problem. I'm not just trying to harp on Atletico. It's a whole
it's
racial problem.
Deep-rooted,
right? It's deep-rooted. Like, that should be rooted out of everything.
Yeah.
But since we're only focusing on today's game and whose the attention is drawn on, it's like, there's no reason for you to be getting mad at Vinny for dancing.
Yeah, come on. Baila, Vinny, baila.
Keep dancing.
Keep dancing. But what do you think of the game? Real Madrid stayed perfect. They haven't drawn a single game going into this international break.
That game was, I wouldn't say textbook counterattack, but it was, if you say, cause Real Madrid, I know people say, oh, maybe Benzema wasn't there, but they have enough talent where they could figure out where Atletico cannot be in like their most dangerous situations. Like
that through pass to Rodrigo,
man, dude, that midfield, Real Madrid. I know Casemiro's gone now, but they
retooled it.
They didn't have to. They had the players before they even had to retool, so they're already ready. They're already locked and loaded in the chamber. They're just like, whoever leaves, all right, next man up. They're already ready. So it wasn't like, bam, we got to buy someone in the summer. Got to wait for them to step up. They were already ready. Those young lions in the midfield are ready to hunt.
They're hungry.
But we'll see. I mean, the goal Rodrigo scored, my goodness, on the half volley, that is difficult. Like I remember one pass that you gave me. It was like 3 years ago over Brian. He sent one over and it just dropped perfect. He went top bins. I'm like, that was probably the best goal I've ever scored at school ever. So it was like,
that was dope.
How hard it is, yeah. And then
honestly, it was just nice seeing because Real Madrid. I understand it. Like everyone loves to hate on Madrid. Like whether it's because most European championships, like all the money they invest in the team, like. Just the white, the wearing the Galacticos, the cool nicknames, everything that Real Madrid stands for. I get why people hate on Real Madrid, but it was just nice seeing everyone, kind of come together and support Vini and like condemn what was being said on the other side, and like players celebrating, like Gabriel Jesus celebrating the Premier League, doing a little dance, kind of similar. It was just nice. It was nice just to feel the support of the world come together. Like you said, it's the greatest unifier there is out there. So it was nice. Hala Madrid.
I won't say that, but good game to Real Madrid.
Yeah, good game. They stay perfect. But let's just stay on the soccer topic before we wrap this up.
Yep.
Give me a couple reasons why Potter's gonna do good with Chelsea. Let's just stick on the Chelsea topic. I know. Were you a Tuchel guy or?
I can't say I was truly a Tuchel guy. It's because, I mean, let me not say I'm anti-Tuchel. Like, I always give respect to all the new coaches that come to Chelsea except Rafa Benitez. That one, even though he won us Europa League, that one, there was some deeper wounds even before he became coach. With fake plastic, all that stuff, flags. So that was deeper than rap. But, Tuchel, he was cool because, of course, he replaced Super Frankie Lampard, our legend, but...
Got you the Champions League.
Got us the Champions League. He got us a Club World Cup and stuff like that. And he helped us throughout our whole the situation with Roman Abramovich.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't think anybody really expected it to happen so fast, but it happened. Life happens.
Yep.
And
so you're gonna miss him, man.
I'm gonna miss him because I felt like it was
hasty.
It was not hasty, but like, of course, it felt like a setup. Like they were just looking for a reason to fire him. I know there were some rumblings that he was not really receptive to Todd Bowley and stuff like that. Some of the ideas. I'm like, the whole Ronaldo, we got to sign. We need a big splash signing. I'm like, I know Ronaldo is arguably one of the greatest soccer players of all time, but he's 37. How much do you really want to invest in that man for the future of the team when you have all these young lions in the academy and stuff like that? Like, and I have no problem signing Ronaldo. Like,
yeah. You could see Tuchel's point too.
Tuchel's point, like they're like, we're trying to build for the future. Like we're trying to get maybe either young players or players that are in their prime right now, ready to hunt to go win trophies. And I know Ronaldo still wants to win trophies, but he scores goals. And it's weird. It's because I'm a striker, but he scores goals. But if he's not scoring,
that's it.
He's not running. He's not running with the team. Not helping out the team because now soccer is more. Everybody got to run at least a little bit, and he's not really doing that. And so, Todd Bowley, I feel like. I'm not saying like I'm not xenophobic, but it seems like he just sees Ronaldo as like a FIFA like 91 or whatever all-star ultimate team thing.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's still 2008. Like if Ronaldo came in 2008, which was not going to happen, obviously.
I
would have had no arguments with it, but it's just kind of unfortunate. And then Graham Potter though.
Yeah, looking ahead. What do you think about that? It's a big leap.
It's a big leap from how he started to all the way from. Was it like he was went to Sweden?
Yeah, Basel, I think he was
something like that.
Like not even like the first
team. Yeah, he started all the way and then got to Chelsea. I'm like,
it's a big rise.
Wow, it's a big rise, and I hope he does well because you can see the tactical flexibility he had at Brighton.
Yeah,
and then like my older brother, he's like, we signed all these players on Chelsea. I know there's no excuse, but it's called basically OTJ, on the job training, basically, like. whatever he calls it. Like my brother, because he's relatively new at Caltrain, so he has like a lot of on the job training he be doing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's what basically a lot of these was. Fofana came in last second.
Yeah.
And then Koulibaly, we haven't really like the old, of course, because now everything's compact because of the World Cup. So like actually getting like a full 2 months of training together, doing all these tactical exercises, not as like the previous few years, but there's no excuse. We have to play better because the last 3-4 months of Tuchel ball, as they've said on Twitter.
Oh, it was boring. It was boring. It was hard to watch.
It was very hard.
It was hard to watch.
Very hard to watch.
It was hard to watch. Let's be real.
It was a tough watch, but
hard to watch.
I still support my team Chelsea till I die. But it was very, I feel bad for Tuchel. I hope he does well. He might go to Juventus because it seems that Allegri and those guys.
Oh yeah, they're falling out.
Those guys, that second coming is not.
Yeah. No, they're saying that they have like a 2-3 year plan with him, but like those results are.
They just lost today, I think. Too.
Yeah. So it's looking bad. But you think Pulisic will do a little better with Potter, or you think it's time for him to go, look somewhere else?
I know he's been kind of disappointed with his playing time and stuff, but my man, I need you to stay healthy for like
a full season.
Give me like 38 games in the league season, right? If you can give me like 27 games where you can at least play 75 minutes at least and you're not getting hurt or whatever, not pulling up lame, I think you'll be all right. And then just the whole, if you do leave, all right, it's okay. You didn't live up to expectations because technically you were supposed to be Hazard's replacement, which is always going to be a hard shoes to follow.
Yeah.
But I still got to love Pulisic. Hopefully does well for us in the World Cup, But,
Chelsea's Graham Potter's Chelsea. Where do you think they end up at the end of the season?
And to be honest, I think I want to say third because even though Liverpool
third, okay,
yeah, it's a hot take because it seems that Man City's on some Manchester United like nonsense where they're just gonna win 3 straight.
Yeah,
he got the cyborg Haaland scoring. goals.
He's going crazy.
Like the goal he scored during the week.
But third, explain what third. Who's second? You guys, you're Arsenal?
Nah, Arsenal.
No,
about Arsenal. I know that if people watching this, I'm looking at the camera right now. So
it's crazy.
So I know Arsenal. Y'all every year. This is our team. This is our year. Yada yada yada. We've been hearing that since 2004, since the Invincibles.
Oh my God.
We've been hearing that, and then when it comes to May, oh boy. We finished 5th, we finished 4th, we finished 6th. Man. No Champions League in the last 6 years. Arteta's this, Arteta that. He's a genius. He's Pep's protege.
Yeah.
We'll see in May. I don't get too up, don't get too down. We'll just see in May when you guys are finishing maybe 6th again.
Oh my God.
And then you guys are going to be complaining, we're not enough ambition and stuff like that.
It's a process.
It's a process.
All right, what about Tottenham?
Tottenham? Ooh, I forgot about Tottenham. I'm not going to lie to y'all. It's because Antonio Conte,
I believe in Conte, dude.
I believe in him league-wise, domestic-wise, but Champions League, he's still...
Okay, but you're saying Chelsea third, so that means you got City first.
I think, even though I hate them too, Liverpool will finally figure something. They'll pull some strings together.
Chelsea third. United are looking pretty good, too.
United...
Chelsea third? That's...
And the thing I say Chelsea third, it's going to be third by, like, maybe another 15 to 20 points. I'm gonna be honest. That we finish like a distant third. We limp over the finish line.
But you're still third. You're still ahead of like Tottenham, Arsenal, United.
United's like a year away.
Okay.
A year away.
And you're saying Potter's gonna do good.
I mean, going based off of Chelsea's history.
But they're like what, 10th right now?
Something like that. I don't know. I think
8th?
Like 7th or something.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. Because I don't call me out. You're a fair weather fan, man. You guys just postponed our game against Liverpool, so I mean, the league's
it's imbalanced right now.
Imbalanced, I know.
Yeah.
So, but
like
every time we fire a coach, I don't know. It seems
there's like a spark.
There's a spark. Okay. That new manager on the bounce spin. Somehow we figured it out.
Yeah.
So.
Just need a new voice type of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of bad.
Okay. You kind of right. I see where you're coming from. We'll see. We'll have to revisit this in May or June, whenever the league ends, because I know the World Cup is pushing it a little bit.
But again, Arsenal fans, I got to see you in May holding that trophy with the red and white ribbons coming down the stream, and then I can see that you guys are back. But until then, don't be.
It ain't it.
It ain't it, man.
It ain't it.
Don't be getting too up or too down.
Man, you look like you trying to catch some hands.
I mean, Arsenal fans, what are you really gonna do? Really? What are you really gonna do?
London is what?
London is blue, man. Unless like, and you know what? I might even be there in winter time. If y'all want to see me on the pitch, I'll see you guys on the pitch. I might be 2 years out of shape, but I'll still knock you guys out.
That's funny. That's funny. Honestly, I have no say in this as a Wolves fan. I just hope we stay out of relegation.
Up the mighty Wolves. That's my.
Hey man, but this has been fun. Thank you for coming on to the show again. Like I said, I told you it was gonna be better in person, and I feel that it's lived up to it. Thank you again for being part of the show. It was great to have you.
Thank you for having me back, man. 2 years gone out of this city of San Francisco. Now your boy's back in town. We can have more fun.
Let's get it. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.